Good morning and thank you for staying tuned to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV. If you just tuned in, good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. I know it's a bit chilly outside, but I hope that you're warm. Welcome to this segment of Our Views. My name is Apollo Sarah and I'm joined by the ladies Agi Uwase and Shivana Omwa. Good morning, ladies, once again. Are you all right? Are you all right?
Except for the fact that it's chilly.
Yes. And today we're going to be having a very interesting conversation because something riled up the internet, late last week, and this was Sheebah Karungi, and she had something to say. First, let's take a look at the video and then let's come back and chat.
I had a show. I was performing for somebody, one of those people you respect and call real role models. This is trying to be inappropriate in front of my team members. No shame, no remorse, nothing. And you know what I kept thinking about? I was so angry, I almost didn't perform. But then I respect my job. I thought about my job. And then after performing, I punished myself. I was thinking, why not just return the money? Do I deserve the disrespect? No. Why do you look at women as objects? Don't you have daughters? Treat the women you meet on the way like you would want your daughters to be treated, please. I was imagining if you could try that with me. What are you doing without people seeing you behind those doors? With all that pretense.
Well, there you have it. Well, she was hired to go and perform at an event, and she was sexually harassed by someone at the event, and she goes on to say that the person was even going as far as offering her money for sexual favors in return. And of course, naturally, as she should, she was very insulted and offended by the gesture. So today we are going to be trying to connect the link between sexual objectification of women and the belief in personal free will. Okay, and before I get into it, I'd just like to define what objectification means. Well, objectification involves viewing or treating a person as an object, devoid of thought or feeling. Often, objectification is targeted at women and reduces them to objects of sexual pleasure and gratification. So let's get into it. What do you think of the incident? Before we dive right into the discussion, what do you think of Sheebah's ordeal?
Well, I would say she had every right to react the way that she did, but also in second thought, you see the fact that she thought about it and said, okay, I respect my job, and then she wanted to take the money and stuff. But for me, she did stand up for her rights in one or the other. I like the fact that she did that. However, I think she should have gone ahead and reacted in the moment and probably threw a few punches. We want violence. We want violence. But anyway, yeah, that is what I think can make out of the whole incident. It is quite sad that in the era that we live in now, especially it gets even worse for celebrities, because somehow people think that because you're a celebrity, people outside the public is entitled to, treat you as they want, touch you as they want, even when you're dressed a certain way. It's quite absurd, but unfortunately that is the world we live in. So the few who are bold enough to stand up for their rights, well and good. But again, when you look at someone like Sheebah, if she had chosen to react in the moment and say, you know what, I don't even want your money, keep it, she's already doing quite well for herself. However, there are people who are not in the same position as Sheebah. There are people who are sexually harassed now and again, and they cannot quit their jobs or they cannot quit where they are working because it's the only source of income. So it's a tricky situation.
It's a very unfortunate incident. When I saw that video, I felt very bad. But then I think Sheebah is just right now representing the majority of women who go through these incidences every day, from when you are walking down the street and they're hissing at you, to so many other ways in which women are sexually assaulted every other day. And for me, I don't know, maybe she did it to protect herself and maybe protect her job at the end of the day. Just like she talked about, I thought about my job that means it means so much to her. And, you know, she had to stand all these unfortunate incidents. We do not know exactly what they did to her. We don't know the far extent. But, you know, from the video, it looks like it must have been really bad. And, you know, the fact that she's just thinking about her job, protecting her job, and maybe... And the other person, why is she protecting the other person? For me, in my view, she should have, you know, outed that person, put that name out there, and maybe let it be an example to every other man out there, especially people in power, people who have their money, and they think because I'm in this position, you couldn't do a thing about me. I mean, I could treat you the way I want, and, you know, you can't do anything about it. I feel like she should have outed that man. I'm very curious to know who that person is. But at the end of the day, it was a very unfortunate incident.
But don't you think sometimes women bring this on themselves?
How?
If you're going to treat yourself as an object of desire, if you're going to sell the illusion that you're an object of desire, why should you be shocked when somebody is going to approach you in that type of way? Hear me out. If you are going to dress skimpy, go and gyrate on a stage and sing sexual lyrics, why would you be shocked that somebody is going to want to take advantage of that? And you calling it upon yourself? I know you're taking deep breaths in, but I think let us also take responsibility for the role that we play in it. Because there are certain women who will not be approached in that type of manner. And there are women who will be approached in that type of manner. I am not saying that it was right for that to have happened to Sheebah. She's obviously, and as she should be, very upset about it. I have been objectified a lot of times, but I know there are times when I step out of the house dressed a certain type of way and I'm expecting it, and it does happen. And there are some times when I leave the house dressed a certain type of way, I don't expect it, and it doesn't happen. So my question is, don't you think we put it on ourselves sometimes?
No way. Absolutely no way. I don't know why we are protecting perpetrators of these kinds of things. It's like we
It's
are
not
defending them.
protecting
Here's the thing.
perpetrators.
It's when you put the
It's
message
taking
out there.
responsibility of
Okay,
our role
here's the
in
thing.
it.
I'll just give you an example. You see the way I'm dressed? I'm actually very decent. I could go downtown right now and men couldn't care less about whether I'm all covered and all. They will touch me if they want to touch me, though. I mean, you have seen those experiences. So it really doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter how well you are dressed or how decent that you are dressed. These people who commit these crimes or sexual assault, I think they just have mental health issues. Let me actually talk about it that way, because there are certain men who are decent enough that irrespective of how maybe skimpy you are dressed, they will not do those things. They will not throw those comments. They will not touch you a certain way. They will still respect you. Let us stop protecting these men and talking about Sheebah. I mean, she's an artist. You expected her to go on stage dressed in a gomasi?
But
No.
she's also...
No. I think
let me
it's
give
an
you
issue
an
on the other end, and this has nothing to do with
I
Sheebah Karunji.
understand where you're coming from, Aggie, and I am torn in between there. First of
That's
all,
why
I-
you're seated
I think-
in the
yeah,
middle.
that's why I think that is why I sat in the middle, because she does make a valid point, and you do make a valid point. I mean, it would be very wrong and childish to say that to an extent, us women are not the reasons as to why we are in one way or the other targets for sexual assault. Why would you wake up in the morning dressed skimpily and expect that you will not attract the man's attention? But again, on Aggie's side, then again I would say, but so I'm not going to dress up the way I want because a man is going to sexually harass me? Are we going to constantly be living under the fear and illusion that, you know, I cannot behave a certain type of way, or I cannot dress a certain type of way because so and so will touch me, or so and so I will be harassed? No, it's a very toxic and wrong way to live. I think we should all be entitled to dress the way we want and not have to fear that we shall be harassed in one way or the other. Like, make it make sense.
Yes.
And yes, you made a valid point. You know, you dress a certain way, you're singing sexual lyrics. You know, your body is also, you know, making the whole whole other presentation, making it look very beautiful and amazing. And then someone is here touching you inappropriately where they're not supposed to touch you. So then the question would be, and the truth of the matter is, even if I woke up in the morning, and I remember a psychologist actually did write this when they published The African Woman. I remember that was in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember one of the editors at the end of the magazine wrote and said, even if a woman woke up in the morning and wore a gomesi, it would still wouldn't stop a man from being attracted to her. It's not Men are driven by what they see, yes. But even if I covered up my body, if a man wants to sexually harass you, they will. They do. You do not have to show them flesh. So it's a tricky situation. Should we wear what we want?
Yes, please, let's wear what we want.
Or
No.
should,
At the end of the
or
day,
should
I
we
think
be cautious with
and
what
hold
we
sexual
wear?
assault perpetrators accountable for
understand.
their actions.
I understand that, Aggie, and I understand why you would be very upset. But again, I go back to us taking responsibility for sometimes bringing this attention to ourselves. If you are an artist, I will give Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all these women who are gyrating and just talking about their, you know, kitty cats and whatnot on air and saying all these things. Why would you be shocked when a man is going to let me finish. And then on the flip side, there are artists like Adele, and I'm not saying that she has never been objectified or sexualized, but how many times is it going to be the case for her? Do you understand? How is a man going to have the audacity to approach her with a sum of cash and say, I'll give you this money to, you know, give me favors in return?
But
do you
Sarah,
understand what I mean?
Women are old enough to be their
I
grandmothers.
understand that.
So what is attracting
I
them?
understand that, Siobhan, and I'm not disputing that. I do understand the perpetrator is at fault because they have a choice to go ahead and attack and not to. But I'm also asking, why don't we take responsibility in our actions as women? Why don't we act the way we want to be treated? We always talk about respect. Respect is earned. So why don't we act in a respectful way so that we can generally get it back?
Here's the thing. Honestly speaking, now, I don't know, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, whether I am dressed in a short skirt, I mean, I'm going to the club, am I supposed to be, you know, dressed in, you know, I'll just give you an example of, there's a certain student that we went to school with at university. She was, you know, Muslim, very beautiful lady. I mean, you could only see her face, and the rest should actually be wearing those very beautiful Muslim attire. But guess what? She was sexually assaulted by a lecturer. And now you could ask yourself, I mean, there was nothing to see. She wasn't showing off, nothing, no skin, nothing, absolutely. But she was sexually assaulted. Please, can we stop, like, because at the end of the, I think, like, we are giving these men or giving them the liberty, you know,
no, we are not.
We are justifying their actions. Okay, there are men who are always, you know, dressed in vests and then, you know, they're all muscular and looking good. Should we also touch them or sexually assault them?
I'm not saying that.
And we are all
ladies, you are not understanding my point. My point is 100% the perpetrator is at fault.
That
here,
is
but I'm
indeed
saying,
true.
and
But
how
even
about we
the
start taking
women-
responsibility? It is just like if you're not supposed to walk in dark alleys at night, and then you say, oh, I have the freedom of movement and I can go anywhere that I want, you are going to potentially get yourself in harm's way. So how about you mitigate on your part? Be a responsible person and mitigate on your part. Do you understand? And it's not even just it's not even going on to physically sexually assault somebody else, because objectification just surpasses the physical touch. It goes when you judge somebody, when you look at somebody and you think like, oh wow, this person could be an object of desire or some type of sexual gratification. Women do it as well. When we look at men and say, oh my goodness, that guy is hot. I wonder if he's endowed. You're objectifying the person. It goes beyond just touching. It goes beyond offering somebody, you know, something. It goes beyond asking them. Well, some of the causes of women objectification, but I would like to just talk about objectification in general, because also men go through this. And one possible explanation as to why women or people get objectified is, and primarily sexualized women are objectified relates to negative attitudes some people hold towards promiscuity. Women are perceived as more sexually open. Women who are perceived as more sexually open are found to be more vulnerable to sexual aggression due to lower perceived mental agency.
But I also need to say this to the ladies also. Let's twedeco. Listen, I'm not being deaf-eared towards what you're saying, but the truth of the matter is, Aggie, you have got to also be your own advocate. You are saying men should not sexually harass you. You are saying you need to be respected, but you come to office in a skirt that is supposed to be taken to the bar, and when your boss makes advances, then you're like, oh my God, you're sexually harassing me, but why are you throwing your boobs in our faces? Can't you dress well? Dress well, dress for the occasion. I need you to, let me tell you something.
No,
I am not saying that the women are to blame. I'm just saying, as ladies, can we just learn to dress decently? It goes a long way. You will be treated the way you are dressed. If you're dressed like you just walked out of the next badge, pork joint, or whatever joint it is that is around your home, that is exactly the way that you will be addressed.
I don't buy
and
this whole idea.
Why are you tempting? Already you know men react with sight. So why are you tempting them? It is sort of like, it's like a dog having a chicken as a pet.
We're not going
like,
to
how does that even work?
We're not going to live at men's mercy. Here's the
I'm not
and
saying
why
that.
I do not understand this idea and why you say what you say. Is the fact that we have seen incidences where there are maids at home, dressed in all those shabby skirts, but men objectify them. But
that is
go
true.
the far extent of
That is
sexually
true, but
assaulting
we
them.
are
So
talking
this
about
does not-
the
it
women
doesn't
who are
justify.
totally indecent.
No, it doesn't justify that character
it is called
in any way.
covering up your body.
No
Ladies, number one, the argument today is not about women who dress decently. The argument is about women who carry themselves and act in a promiscuous manner.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? A woman who is going to talk about and sing about her kitty cat, gyrate and show us things that she could probably do in the bedroom. Again, my question is, why would you be shocked if a man is going to approach you with money to pay for it? Again, we go on to use the context of, it is my right, let me do what I want, it's my body, it is this, it is that. But you know exactly what you're doing, because acting that way sells. Many people in the industry say sex sells, right? That's why a lot of women are pushed to get plastic surgery, get bigger bosoms, get bigger buttocks, dress a lot more indecent, and whatever. It works for them, and good on them. Congratulations, you're a woman, it's your body. Do whatever it is that you want. My thing is that let us not act shocked
when it happens.
Happens.
For me, I'm always shocked about
Let's not. No,
you shouldn't.
If I came here and
Kokonya,
sat in a two-piece bikini top and a bikini thong and a bikini top, everybody would be like, I would get some positive comments, I'll get some negative comments, I'll get some negative unwanted attention, because you see, at the end of the day, you cannot. We have to start taking responsible for our actions. If we sit here and we're telling people, don't walk in the middle of the night, be sure who your Uber driver is, be sure about the border that you're taking upon, that you're taking to take you wherever it is that you're going, like put in those cautionary steps. How about we tell women to also put in those cautionary steps? Because guess what? We are not going to solve the issue of sexual harassment today. We have a lot of work to do, so let us stop leaving it in. Yes, I'm absolutely 1000% for men need to control themselves, but women need to also behave.
You need to dress up, behave, put on clothes that are for your body type.
Taking responsibility of your actions goes hand in hand. Yes, with self-control. Here's the thing. If I am dressed the way I'm dressed, I mean, why do you feel the need to? Are we actually? I think like we're just, justifying that the fact that
you see, this
men
is the
do
thing.
not have self-control. Why are we justifying the fact that men do not have self-control?
I read a study, and the title of this study is, "Do self-objectified women believe themselves to be free?" And this is why I opened with this preamble: sexual objectification and belief in personal free will. So, are you self-objectifying yourself, or is it free will? Are you wearing that skirt because you are trying to objectify yourself by saying, yes, I have a big bum and I want to show it off. I have big thighs, I want to show it off. Or is it free will? Are you doing it because I didn't think about it? I'm just wearing a skirt.
Sorry, let me just.
It even goes beyond what you put on.
So how should women dress when they are going to the beach? Because
I
definitely
can't tell a woman
bikini.
how to
I'm
dress.
asking because
I can't tell a woman how to dress. She
Okay.
can dress the way she wants to dress, but you see, at the end of the day, you cannot control people's reaction to you. So how about you practice some self-preservation? How about you practice some, let me take care of myself in the event something happens, because you can't control another person. And even if you went on to have them prosecuted and something happened to them, the damage is already done. So why do you want to have to put yourself in that situation?
We have to
Listen, again,
advocate for
another thing is that
self-control.
beauty, you don't have to again, I'm not attacking women who dress a certain type of way, who choose to dress skimpy. That is you, that is how you run your business, that is how you run your career, perhaps, and that is needed because that's what sells, that's what puts you on top. You get. Look at the entertainment industry right now. A lot of women are being sexualized, and they are allowing themselves to be sexualized by the lyrics that they sing, the clothes that they wear, the way that they carry themselves, the way that you talk.
Allowing themselves.
You are allowing yourself. You have to treat yourself in a way that you want to be treated. If you go on and say, oh, I am a this B, you know the B word, I am this and this and that, and then you get shocked when somebody calls you that.
At the end of the day,
take responsibility.
Do your part. Do your part, because like Sarah said, you cannot control. Even if I woke up in the morning and I wore the most decent outfit, I will not control the way a man will perceive me. However, you have done your part. You have covered up, you know, your private parts. You're decent. So I mean, if you walked into a place, how would you want to be perceived? So dress exactly that way. I'm not saying that we are covering up for men, and you know.
Oh yes, you are.
We are not.
You're just moving around in corners, but you are justifying what actions.
Give an example.
No, we are not.
Let's give an example of alcohol.
Let's
give an example of
you
alcohol.
are justifying.
No, let's give an
just
example.
running around.
Let's give an example of alcohol. So you know you're not supposed to drink and drive, yes? But you're going to justify and say, oh, I'm going to drink, but I'll have a seat belt on. But you're drinking and driving, a seatbelt will only go a long way. Just do not drink and drive.
Then you get shocked
then you get shocked when you get an accident. What were you expecting? You thought the seatbelt would help you? No. In the same way, if you wake up in the morning and you're going to show all your body parts, and then a man is going to approach you,
ladies,
and a man approaches you.
Ladies,
we are not going to justify.
Ladies,
we are not going to justify
we
sexual
cannot
assault
dress,
because
but
of how
also we cannot
dress.
start
No,
saying that
not.
we cannot dress this way because we are afraid that men are going to
going
hurt
to
us.
leave
But
at
do
men's
your
mercy.
part.
Listen.
Do your part.
Listen, ladies, we are running out of time. I just want to have to say this, and before I say, I don't even know why I should even be saying this, but for my next title, it's like what I want to say is how you do not objectify a woman, and this is how not to objectify a woman. And you can do that by make a list of the ways that you find yourself objectifying women. This can be either in your head or on a physical piece of paper. Determine to catch your unconscious thoughts as they run conscious, to top the objectification, and remind yourself that women are human too. So that is what you need to do in the event you find yourself objectifying a woman, or if you're a woman you find yourself objectifying another woman or a man. Catch yourself in that moment and remember that this person is a human being, and also treat them with respect. You know, be civil and be courteous, but also I would just like us to also take responsibility in our actions. But actually I found a really interesting piece of literature on the internet, and I'd like you to read about it in regard to objectification of women. And it's a Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, and it's a feminist perspective on objectification. It is absolutely insightful. I would go on and on and on about this piece, but it's absolutely beautiful. You need to find it and read it. But before I go, I have a clip here that I would like you to watch. Take a look. Well, there you have it. One thing that I would like to say is, number one, women, let's stop putting ourselves in danger. Stop playing with men's mental minds. But you think that you can play games and then you just get out of it. I am not advocating or trying to protect the man here. I'm trying to help the women. Let's not put ourselves in danger. Don't go into a lion's den and then be shocked that the lion is molding you. Let us practice self-preservation. And number two, just really quickly, psychologists did say objectification of women could actually be a good thing, especially in regard to healthy relationships. You would want your partner to objectify you and like what they see. Well, that's all I had for you on this segment of Our Views. The conversation continues on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let me know your thoughts.
This is Sunrise at here on CTV. But before we go, honestly, I just would like to say that be responsible for your actions as a man out there. No one is going to, as you go on objectifying women and doing whatever you want to do, be responsible and be in self-control. Yes, that is what we had for you here on Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink and keep watching CTV.